Welcome everybody. I'm Sonia, and are you warm enough right where you are for a minute? I wanted to live on a farm my whole life. I also wanted horses my whole life. So here we have a farm, we have horses. That was 15 years ago. And we worked with 12 kids that first year who were unable to manage themselves in homes or foster homes. And we saw huge things happening. One of the things that really hooked me was there was a kid sitting under the rhododendron bush in the sun, curled up with my golden retriever, Sunny Dog, and he was smiling, big grin on his face. And the counselor said that's the first time in 3 months that boy smiled since he came here. And I go, these kids, they really need these animals. Now, 15 years later, we have 400 kids a year that come here to the farm to be touched by an animal. I need you, Sienna.
I need you, Sienna.
To take good care of me.
To take good care of me.
You're right. And I promise to take good care of you.
And I promise to take good care of you.
And I'll forgive you if you mess up.
And I'll forgive you if you mess up.
And I need you to forgive me if I mess up.
I need you to forgive me if I mess up.
And I know all patterns of belief and cloud of dandelion seeds will flow like parachutes down.
Sir, you are just a goofy guy. You are just a goofy boy, aren't you?
What was it like when you first came?
Well, my first day, I didn't want to come. My case manager convinced me, and I said I didn't want to go. I came the first day. I tried not to do anything. Nobody really came up to me, and then you asked Obi to, and Obi kind of came up, and so I had Obi. So.
Do you think he's helping you trust people more?
Yeah, he is. I learned a lot at this farm. I used to really did not trust anybody, did not trust anybody. What I learned is just everybody the same. That's what I learned from all these horses, honestly. Because maybe somebody's treating you horribly. Maybe he had a bad life, or that kid had a bad life, and the person is. So, you don't know the whole story. You don't know him until you get to know him.
The horses made more sense because, well, what I learned once I started taking classes is that they would mirror whatever emotional state you were in. And I've sat for hours and days in counseling sessions with people that avoid getting to what their issues really are. You can talk around that forever. And the horses make it so you can't talk around things, that it comes up in the present time one way or another. That if a person has issues with anxiety or not able to set boundaries or not clear communication, the horses will play that out with them, and they show that they are not communicating clearly and they're not setting healthy boundaries.
I don't have logical explanations for the things I see and feel, and yet here I am doing it. The stories we hear from the parents and from the foster parents and from the teachers and from the kids themselves years later. We know that what happens between the horses and the goats and the bunnies and the chickens and these kids is meaningful and real change for the better for these kids in their lives, and in some cases life-saving. That's what they tell us later. I can't understand that. But I've seen Moonshadow stick her head between the rails of the fence out here and fix her eyes on a particular child in a group of 8 or 9 children that's approaching her, and just fix her eyes so fixedly on a certain child, and then interact with him so warm and friendly that he has no choice but to think, oh, I love this horse and I want to work with her. And then get him out there and be kind and gentle to him, and then suddenly bring the lessons and teach that boy exactly the lessons that he needs in his life. The horses seem to know, and they seem to know which kids need the lessons that they can bring. And it's when you just watch that day in and day out, it gives you something to believe. And also, I don't see a downside.